This is Casey with Destination Events, and today I'm going to show you how to set up, operate, and break down one of our foam machines. Let's get started. Hi there, Casey here with Destination Events, and today we're talking about our foam party packages and rentals. First, we're going to talk about what is in the box, then we're going to talk about how to set it up, and then we're going to talk about how to clean it and break it down. So let's get started. We're going to start with our red machine. First thing you need to know is every foam machine package comes with at least one bottle of foam fluid. This fluid would mix with water, creates enough solution to last for about 1 hour. If you need more than one bottle because your party's going to last longer, let us know. We'll be happy to sell you additional bottles of fluid. Now let's look inside the box and go through the basics of the contents. Our red machine starts by coming with a tripod. The tripod is very easy to set up. I'm going to show you that quickly. Tripod, you just loosen this knob right here, spread the legs, push it down, and tighten that knob again. Now that can sit on the ground. We'll just put that right here next to us. Next thing I want to show you in the box is a power supply. This is going to get connected directly to the foam machine. Next is a fun hose. We have a 25-foot blue hose. Then we have a splitter connected to two shorter hoses. I'll explain how these come together in just a moment. And lastly, we have the foam machine itself. The foam machine has a mount on the bottom. Do you see that hole? That hole allows you to stack it right on top of the tripod. We'll go through all of this in more detail. So let's start with the tripod. The tripod is to support the foam machine. Now the foam machine doesn't have to be on the tripod, but we prefer that it is so you can get both height and security. First thing you're going to do, as I mentioned, is you're going to unscrew this knob, push down the base until these bars down here are horizontal. Once they're horizontal, re-tighten this knob so it's locked in. Then we'll set this down, but we want to get our height set as well. So the next thing we do is we release this collar knob, slide the tube up. You'll notice that there are little holes up and down the tube. Those are for the locking pin. We're taking this locking pin, and once we find the height we like, we're going to slide it right inside of those holes and push it down. Now it's resting on that pin. That's our safety catch. Now we tighten the knob, and this is locked in place. Now that we have our tripod built, it's time to install the foam machine. We do that by just grabbing the foam machine by the handle and lifting it up. You'll notice on the bottom of the foam machine there is a hole. That is the mount that goes right on top of the tripod. Now we are situated in a way that we can maneuver it. Now we want to position our foam machine for use. There's a knob on each side. Simply loosen those two knobs and slide the foam machine up. The hose, the water hose attachment, is the top of the machine. Go ahead and tighten those two knobs back down again to hold the machine in place. Next, what we're going to do is take the tubing that is connected to the foam machine and connect it. We'll first connect the power cord, which is the black cord, to electrical. Now you'll notice inside the box, we do not supply you with any electrical cords, just the power cord to the machine. You'll need to supply your own electrical cord to your electrical outlet or power source. What I'm doing is I'm going to unwind this cord, and you're going to see I'm going to walk in this direction. Our goal with power is to get it away from where the water is. We don't want water and electricity to mix. So they've given us a good 30 to 40 feet of cord here. I'm going to run this over to my extension cord and plug it in. But before I can plug it in, we have to first connect our power supply. The power supply itself has a connection cord, and our power cord has a connecting cord. We're simply going to take these two cords, as you can see, and we're going to snap them together. Now our power is connected. We're going to run the power supply, which has the electrical head, over to our outlet or to our extension cord. I'm going to do that at this time. Now I have power connected, but I want to test that I have power connected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the fan and just make sure it has power. On the red machine, to turn on the blower, is this little black button right here. I'm going to push that button, and we give it about 5 seconds. And now we can hear the blower running. If you have the blue foam machine, the blue foam machine switch is actually connected to the power supply. You'll see this little on-off rocker switch. So if I'm running my power all the way over there, that's where the power supply will be. This is over there with it. So just flip this switch to turn it on and turn it off. With our power connected, tested, we're now good to start setting up the solution and the water. Let's move on to that portion. At this point in the setup, it's kind of important to make sure your machine is where you want it to be. We're going to start putting a big bucket of solution underneath it, and it's hard to move 27 gallons of solution once the bucket's full. So try and make sure you're in the right vicinity before we move past this next stage. For our 27-gallon bucket, we're going to use our tote. This is what everything came in. All we're going to do is set it up right down here underneath the machine. It's just sitting at the base, and we're going to start filling it with water. So let's do that next. To fill it with water, go ahead and get the blue hose that's connected to the two small hoses and connect the blue hose to your water source. I'm going to go hook that up right now. Now that the blue hose is connected, we don't want to turn the water on yet. What we want to do is look at our splitter. So we have here a splitter, and each splitter has a control valve. We want to make sure the control valves are set to off. Off is turned this way against the line. On would be turned this way with the line. So make sure both of your splitter valves are turned off, and then go turn on your water source. Now my water source or my hose is charged. My valves are closed. Let's talk about the hoses for just a minute. We have two hoses. One has a quick connect for the hose adapter or for the machine. This will clip right onto here. To connect the quick connect, you pull the collar down. It's spring loaded. Pull the collar down, slide it up over the nipple, push it in, and then push the collar back up. That's now connected. Also notice that on this line, we have a control valve. We want that control valve to be set to closed. We're going to now use the second hose to fill up our water bucket. I'm going to place the hose inside and slowly open this water valve. Water is now running into the bucket, and we're going to let this fill for just a few minutes. Now that our bucket is about half full, we're going to put our gel solution in. We wait until there's at least half of the bucket of water. What we don't want to do is put the gel solution in first and then apply the water, because it'll just bubble and foam. Now that it's filled, we'll go ahead and open this up, and we'll add our foam solution to the water. This is making a concentrate that will allow us to make foam. Now I'll let it keep filling all the way up to the top of the bucket. So with our bucket full of water, we're now going to remove the hose and set it to the side. We can now turn the water onto this other hose, but make sure we have first made sure the line up here is closed. That is closed, so we're going to open this other hose now. Water line is open, water line is closed. Now we take this rubber siphon hose and we drop it inside of our concentrate solution. Just let it sink to the bottom. While in there, when the water pressure is running, this will pull the solution up and feed it through once we turn the power on. So the next piece we're going to do is we're going to, before we do anything else, turn on our blower. Let's make sure it runs. It takes about 5 seconds to start. And we're up and running. With our blower running, our next thing to do is to open the valve. Opening the valve starts the line running. As you can see, we have a nice thick foam blowing out. This is pulling water from the line and solution from the bucket. The combination of those two makes this amazing foam. Now I can tilt it, I can aim it, I can go up or down. And when I'm ready to take a break from the foam, all I have to do is close that valve. Now that we've made foam, we've had all our fun, it's time to clean up and put it away. So hopefully you'll have run out all of your foam solution. You can just dump it if you haven't. It's non-toxic, it'll be fine, it'll soak into the ground, there's no problems. But at the end, what we do want to do is give it a little spray off. So we're going to take this extra hose that we have, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to just spray off the machine. And you'll notice I'm spraying right into the back, I'm spraying down the front. This is built in a way that all of the components can get wet. So don't feel bad about getting it wet inside. Once you've sprayed it off and rinsed it out, tip it forward so any excess water can flow out. You can even turn the blower on and spray it while it's running. That way we can make sure to get it good and clean. Now that we've rinsed it off, we want to kind of leave it in this angle so it'll drain downwards. Next, we begin our disconnection. First thing we want to do is go and turn off all of our water. Make sure this line is closed. Make sure both of these lines are closed. This one is still open, so I'm going to close that one. And you'll notice what I'm going to do next. I closed that one, but there's water charged in this line. So I'm going to open this one just for a moment, and that releases the water that was in the line. Now that I've done that, I can disconnect my quick connect right here and pull that piece off. I lift this up to drain as much water out of those hoses as I can. I'm going to go now turn off my water source. With the water disconnected, the next thing we're going to do is to disconnect our power. So I'm going to pull my power cord from the power source and start pulling that apart. Remember, my power supply has been connected right here. We want to disconnect the power supply from the cord. So push this little metal tab and pull it apart. Very simple. With that disconnected, I can now put away my power supply. All I do is I gently take the cords and wrap them like so. And then I take one cord to wrap around the other just to keep them from coming apart. I set that aside. With the power and the water now disconnected, I'm going to take both the power cord and the siphon hose together in my hand and just begin looping them. You'll run out of siphon hose very quickly, so we just keep then looping the power cord around. Remember, there's a lot of this because we try to keep the power at a distance. Now that it is all up in my hands, I'm going to take the Velcro strap that is attached here and wrap it around all of those together, both the siphon hose and the power cord at the same time. All tied up. All I'm doing with this is putting it right here on top of the base. I can now take my foam machine and tilt it straight down, just like so. I can remove this and set it aside. With that disconnected, I can now take my tripod apart. I loosen the head, pull the pin, drop that down. I lift the whole tripod up, slide the collar up so the legs are flat, tighten that back down, and set it aside. We're now ready to box up the unit. With our box empty, we're in a good position to start putting things away. The box has had solution in it though, so we'd like to ask you to rinse it out and dry it a little bit before putting everything in it. The first thing that goes in the box is the foam machine itself. We just lay that right in there. The second thing is the tripod. It sits right on top and to the side. Next, we're going to take the power supply and set that down here in the bottom. And finally, we're going to wrap up the hose and put the hose right on top. We can put our lid back on, and it's ready to go back to the shop. Thank you for watching our tutorial on how to set up and break down one of our foam machines. If you have any additional questions, of course, feel free to call our office and we can help you from there. Hope you have an awesome party.